Hi, my name is Gerhard Gschwandtner and welcome to Selling Power TV. Today, we are going to have an interesting conversation about sales coaching with Dave Curlin. Welcome, Dave.
Hi, Gerhard. It's great to be back.
What is the number one thing that sales managers need to be aware of as they move into management about coaching?
Most of them, their concept of coaching is, I talked to her today. We talked about where she was going. I gave her encouragement. I gave her pricing. I even told her what to say. And that's not coaching. Even though most managers think it is, it's not.
So how do you plan for coaching?
I see three kinds of coaching. Pre-call strategizing, where a sales manager goes over an upcoming call and makes sure that the salesperson has the proper goals and outcomes and is prepared for everything that could go wrong, and asks the salesperson what that conversation is going to sound like. And that's where the big surprise comes from. Because when most salespeople are asked, so what's that call going to sound like? What's that conversation going to sound like? Most salespeople go, what do you mean? If sales managers could simply plan with each salesperson to do a short pre-call strategy, and if the salesperson isn't capable of playing the salesperson part, then the sales manager can play the salesperson's part, but just so we have a dry run. And the second part of sales coaching plan has to be post-call debrief. One call every day that didn't go as desired. And we work from the end and go backwards to figure out two things. Where did the call go wrong? And what was the tactic that wasn't properly used or used at all? And what was the cause of that? And then the third coaching is the ride along, or the joint sales call, or the joint headphones. In my experience, as ineffectively as most sales managers handle pre-call strategy and post-call debrief, they do an even more horrible job on the ride along.
Why is it such a devastating effect for the salesperson and an embarrassment sometimes for the customer?
Number one, right off the bat, now the customer has a direct channel to the sales manager, doesn't need the sales rep anymore. Number two, sales manager strokes his ego, came in, got the sale, yay me. What does that do for the salesperson's confidence? Number three, salesperson is trained to use the sales manager as a crutch. All they have to do is bird dog. Sales manager comes in and does the heavy lifting. Number four, salesperson doesn't get any better. No skills are developed. No adversity is overcome. Number five, salesperson feels discouraged and demotivated because they know sitting there that they weren't holding their own to enough of a degree to keep the sales manager from jumping in.
Let's do a little role play. You're the sales manager and I'm the salesperson. And particularly, I was not comfortable when the customer said, your price is too high. And I was responding like, I'm making this up. You know, our competition is much more expensive. So how would you coach me?
You said you were uncomfortable. Why? You've been with us for 4 years and our prices have always been higher. Why 4 years into this are you suddenly uncomfortable?
Well, this was a small business and I felt empathy for the owner.
That's nice of you to be empathetic to the owner, but there's two kinds of empathy. There's the empathy that you felt to his put off, his objection, his stall, his sob story, his bluff. And there's also the empathy toward the problem we were supposed to be in there solving, which he had, right? And you picked the wrong thing to empathize with.
Absolutely. So what you're saying is I could have said, I'm surprised to hear that. What makes you think that we are too expensive?
You could have. And at least with that question, you're not conflicted over how you buy and how he wants to buy. The reason you didn't do anything is because you understood. It made sense. Every single coaching interaction has to result in a lesson learned, some plan for moving forward, and some component of change so that there's improvement every time we talk. And the next time they come back, we can work on something else instead of the same thing over and over again.
But it takes a lot of mindset shifting on the part of the manager and not be just a number cruncher and an encourager or a dictator.
There's got to be a reasonable expectation as to how long change like this takes. So the tactical thing, they can learn that the first time you share it with them, but their ability to do it is dependent on the mindset. If it's just a tactic and they have a mindset that supports the tactic, we can reasonably expect them to do it correctly tomorrow. But when the mindset doesn't reasonably support the tactic, it literally will be months before they can execute it, which means the coaching has to be reinforced. We're going to have to keep working on the same thing day after day after day until the mindset changes.
So Dave, where can sales managers learn how to become better coaches?
Oh, I am so glad you asked. Curlin runs the best freaking sales leadership training program on planet Earth. It's 2 intensive days of how to coach salespeople. It's case history intensive. We actually listen to live, actual recorded coaching conversations, 8 of them over the course of 2 days. And then we dissect them and discuss them and learn from them. And we talk about their problem children and how to coach them up. And we offer that training 3 times in 2019. It's the most unique, powerful, insightful sales leadership training anywhere.